Before you can speak like a CEO, you must first think like one. Take a moment to imagine the last time you were caught off guard in a conversation. Maybe someone asked you a difficult question during a meeting, or a stranger started talking to you unexpectedly. Did your mind suddenly go blank? Did you stumble over your words or respond too slowly? This is where the journey begins. Clear, confident speech is not just about how your lips move. It starts with how your brain organizes thoughts under pressure. CEOs, politicians, and great communicators seem to have an almost magical ability to say the right thing at the right time. But this isn't magic. It's a skill. And today, we're going to build that skill step by step. The first step to thinking fast is recognizing why you hesitate in the first place. For most people, mental bottlenecks fall into three main categories. 1. Overthinking. You have so many thoughts at once that you can't decide which one to say first. Your brain starts buffering, like a computer stuck loading a video. 2. Fear of judgment. You hesitate because you're worried about saying the wrong thing and being judged. 3. Lack of structure. You don't have a mental framework for turning raw thoughts into clear sentences quickly. Most people struggle with all three at different times. But the good news? They can all be trained away. Step 2. Train your brain for speed. Imagine your brain like a muscle. If you want it to react quickly, you need to give it resistance training. Here are 3 mental exercises you can do daily to sharpen your thinking. 1. Rapid-fire word association, 5 minutes a day. Take a random object near you, a pen, a glass of water, a chair, and challenge yourself to say 5 things about it as quickly as possible. For example, if the object is a chair, you might say wooden, stable, comfortable, squeaky, tall. The goal is not to be poetic. It's to force your brain to fire ideas quickly without hesitation. 2.5-second summarization drills. Take any piece of content, a news article, a podcast segment, or even a YouTube video, and summarize it out loud in 5 seconds or less. Example. You just read an article about inflation rates going up. Instead of explaining it for 2 minutes, say, inflation is rising, meaning prices will get higher and central banks may raise interest rates. This exercise teaches you to compress ideas and deliver the essence, which is a critical CEO skill. 3. Thinking in bullet points. Instead of letting your thoughts float around like spaghetti in boiling water, group them into 3 clear points. Example, someone asks, what do you think about remote work? Instead of rambling, you think, Point 1, it improves flexibility. Point 2, it reduces office costs. Point 3, but it can hurt team culture if done poorly. Then you say, I think remote work is great for flexibility and saving costs, but companies need to be careful about team culture. This method will make your speech tighter, faster, and more authoritative. Step 3, train for calm under pressure. Speed is only half the battle. You also need to stay calm while your brain works. CEOs don't just think fast, they stay collected when things go wrong. Here's how to practice that. 1. The pause is power technique. When someone asks you a question and your brain freezes, don't panic. Instead, pause intentionally for 2 seconds. Take a breath and then speak. Pauses make you look thoughtful, not clueless. This buys you time to think and stops you from blurting out filler words like or 2. Pressure simulation practice. Grab a friend or record yourself on video. Have them ask you 5 random questions as fast as they can, and you must respond immediately. Example. What do you think about AI? How do you feel about pineapple on pizza? If you could meet anyone in history, who would it be? The point isn't to give perfect answers. The point is to get used to responding without overthinking. 3. Mindset reframing. When you start to feel nervous, remind yourself, I don't need the perfect answer. I need a clear answer. Perfectionism slows you down. Clarity builds confidence. Step 4. Organize your thoughts like a CEO. CEOs don't just speak fast, they speak with direction. One of the easiest ways to sound organized is to use mental templates for common situations. When explaining something complex, use the explain like I'm 5 rule. Break it down so simply a child could follow along. When giving your opinion, use the yes and technique. Yes, I see why people like remote work, and I think it works best when teams meet once a month. When presenting options, use the option-outcome format. We have two choices: invest in marketing and grow faster, or stay lean and protect cash flow. These mental shortcuts make you sound organized even when you're thinking on the fly. Step 5. Build daily mental habits. Thinking fast is a skill, but it's also a lifestyle. Here are small habits you can add to your daily routine to keep your mind sharp. Read daily. Consume information outside your field so your brain has more raw material to work with. Practice micro-debates. When you read an opinion online, argue for and against it in your head for 1 minute each. Stay physically sharp. Exercise and proper sleep improve cognitive speed dramatically. Let's bring this to life. Imagine a boardroom meeting where everyone is debating a problem. Sales numbers are down and the team is panicking. A CEO with mental agility does 3 things. 1. Listens first. While everyone is emotional, they stay quiet and take mental notes. 2. Summarizes the chaos. They say, "Here's what I'm hearing. Sales are down 10%. Marketing thinks the messaging is weak. Product thinks it's a feature issue. And finance is worried about cash flow." 3. Provides direction. Let's run a quick survey to see if this is a product issue or a messaging issue. Then we'll double down on whichever needs the most attention. Notice how they didn't give a perfect solution right away. They simply organized the discussion, created clarity, and gave the next step. That's what mental agility looks like in action. By the end of this chapter, you should commit to the following daily exercises. 1. 5 minutes of rapid-fire word association. 2. 3 summaries of content in 5 seconds each. 3. 3 conversations where you group your responses into 3 clear points. 4. Pause intentionally before answering difficult questions at least once a day. This may sound small, but in just 2 weeks, you'll feel a shift. Your mind will start firing faster. You'll hesitate less. You'll notice people looking at you differently because clarity attracts respect. Your voice is your handshake before the handshake. It's what people trust first. You can have the smartest ideas in the room, but if you deliver them with mumbled, hesitant words, they lose power. Think about the last time you heard a leader speak clearly, slowly, and with conviction. Even if you disagreed with them, you probably respected how they carried themselves. That's the difference a well-trained voice makes. In this chapter, we're going to take your mental agility from chapter 1 and give it a vehicle, a strong, smooth, deliberate way of speaking that commands attention. Step 1. Understand why you stumble over words. Before we fix anything, we need to know what's causing it. Stuttering, mumbling, and filler words, are usually symptoms of deeper issues. Here are the big ones. 1. Rushed breathing. When you speak without taking a proper breath, you run out of air mid-sentence and start to trip over words. 2. Tongue laziness. Your tongue, lips, and jaw are muscles. If they're not trained, they get sloppy, causing words to blur together. 3. Mental speed mismatch. Your brain is running ahead of your mouth. You try to keep up, but end up skipping words or repeating yourself. 4. Anxiety. When you feel watched or judged, your muscles tighten and your speech becomes choppy. Once you know the cause, you can target the solution. Step 2. Breathing, the foundation of powerful speech. Most people breathe from their chest when they talk. This makes their voice sound weak and forces them to gulp for air. CEOs, actors, and public speakers breathe from the diaphragm, the muscle below your lungs. Let's train this. Diaphragm drill. 1. Sit or stand tall. 2. Put one hand on your stomach. 3. Inhale slowly through your nose and let your stomach expand outward, not your chest. 4. Exhale slowly through your mouth, feeling your stomach deflate. Repeat for 2 minutes daily. Once you get used to this, speak while maintaining this breathing pattern. Your voice will automatically sound fuller and more confident. Step 3. Articulation training, making every word crisp. Clarity is not about speed. It's about precision. Imagine your mouth like a sculptor carving each word. Here are daily drills to sharpen articulation. 1. Slow tongue twisters. Start with classics like red leather, yellow leather. She sells seashells by the seashore. Unique, New York. Say them slowly first, exaggerating every syllable, then gradually increase speed. 2. Over-exaggeration drill. Pick a paragraph from a book or article and read it as if you're teaching it to a child. Overpronounce every consonant. This wakes up your lips and tongue and trains them to work harder. 3. Record and review. Record yourself reading for 1 minute daily. Play it back and listen for words you slur together. Dropped endings, going, sounding like going. Filler words. Self-awareness is key. Most people don't realize how unclear they sound until they hear themselves. Step 4. Control your pace. Mumbling isn't just about volume, it's about rhythm. Many people speak too fast when nervous. CEOs, on the other hand, are masters of pace control. Try this exercise. The slow down method. 1. Say a full sentence. 2. Cut your speaking speed by 20%. 3. Insert a micro pause between phrases. Example, instead of saying, I think this idea is good, we should try it. Say, I think this idea is good, and we should try it. Pauses are not awkward, they're powerful. They give weight to your words and make people lean in to listen. Step 5. Eliminate filler words. Filler words, dilute your authority. They're usually placeholders while your brain catches up. Here's how to remove them. 1. Awareness first. Record a conversation and count how many fillers you use. 2. Replace with pauses. The next time you feel an coming, simply pause. 3. Practice out loud. Read a paragraph and force yourself to pause instead of using any filler word. At first, it will feel strange. But soon, silence will feel more powerful than noise. Step 6. Find your CEO voice. Every leader has a voice signature, a way of speaking that's calm, measured, and confident. Here's how to find yours. 1. Speak from the chest, not the throat. Put a hand on your chest while speaking. If you feel vibration there, you're doing it right. If you only feel it in your throat, drop your pitch slightly and project from deeper in your body. 2. Own the room with volume. Practice speaking just loud enough that someone at the far end of a large room could hear you without shouting. Proper breathing from your diaphragm will let you project without strain. 3. Add warmth to authority. A CEO voice is not robotic. It's not just deep, it's also approachable. Smile slightly while you talk. Yes, even if you're alone. It changes the shape of your voice and makes you sound friendlier. Step 7. Body language and speech connection. Clear speech is not just about sound, it's about presence. Your posture and facial expressions affect how people hear you. Stand tall or sit upright. A collapsed posture compresses your lungs and makes your voice weaker. Use hand gestures. Moving your hands naturally while speaking can make your voice more dynamic. Hold steady eye contact. This forces you to slow down and makes your speech more deliberate. Imagine being in a high-stakes meeting where you must present an idea to senior executives. You feel your heart racing. Without training, you might speak too fast, mumble your key points, and lose the room's attention. But with your new tools, you take a deep breath from your diaphragm, slow your speech, and deliver with clarity. Our numbers are down 10% this quarter. But we've identified 3 key areas where we can recover. First, by tightening ad spend. Second, by relaunching our email campaign. And third, by optimizing our checkout process. This is the difference between sounding nervous and sounding like someone who should be leading the meeting. Here's your daily practice from this chapter. 1 2 minutes of diaphragm breathing before speaking practice. 2 5 minutes of tongue twisters, starting slow and building speed. 3. Read 1 paragraph with over-exaggeration to train articulation. 4. Record a 60-second voice note and listen for clarity and filler words. 5. Deliver one conversation or message per day with conscious pauses. Do this consistently for 2 weeks, and people will start asking if you've taken a speaking class because they'll notice the difference. Confidence isn't something you wait to feel. It's something you create on demand. Let's be honest, no one feels confident 100% of the time. Even CEOs, actors, and public speakers have moments of self-doubt before stepping on stage or walking into a boardroom. The difference is they know how to switch on confidence when it matters most. In this chapter, you'll learn how to control your physiology so your body feels powerful. Use mental reframing to flip fear into focused energy. Prime yourself before important conversations. Walk, talk, and sit like a leader, even when nervous. By the end of this chapter, you'll have a personal confidence ritual you can use before any high-pressure moment, whether it's a presentation, a sales call, or a first date. Step 1. Redefine what confidence really is. Most people think confidence is something you either have or don't have, but science shows that confidence is a state, not a personality trait. It's not about always feeling fearless. It's about behaving with calm, deliberate certainty, even when your stomach is in knots. Here's the key shift. Confidence is a performance skill. That means you can practice it until it becomes second nature. Step 2. Master the body-first approach. Your brain and body are constantly talking to each other. If your body is slouched, tense, or jittery, your brain assumes there's danger and floods you with adrenaline. If your body is open, relaxed, and expansive, your brain assumes you're safe and in control, and confidence follows. The power posture technique. This is backed by research from Harvard psychologist Amy Cuddy. Stand like a superhero for 2 minutes. 1. Feet shoulder width apart. 2. Chest slightly up. 3. Shoulders relaxed and back. 4. Hands either on your hips or lightly open at your sides. Breathe deeply into your diaphragm while holding this position. Your testosterone levels rise, your stress hormones drop, and your brain gets a signal that you are in command. Do this before any important call, meeting, or interview. It might feel silly, but the shift is very real. Step 3. Use pre-conversation rituals. You wouldn't walk on stage without warming up your voice. The same should be true for big conversations. Here's a step-by-step ritual you can use. 1. Physiology reset. Shake out your hands and arms. Roll your shoulders back. Take 3 slow, deep breaths from your diaphragm. This resets your nervous system. 2. Mental visualization. Close your eyes and picture the upcoming conversation going exactly the way you want it to. See yourself smiling, speaking clearly, and holding attention with ease. Visualization activates the same neural pathways as real experience. You're rehearsing success before it happens. 3. Verbal warm-up. Say a few powerful phrases out loud, clearly and slowly. I am calm. I am clear. I am ready. My words are valuable. I speak with authority. Your brain listens to what you say. Tell it what state to be in. Step 4. Control the fear response. Anxiety before speaking is natural. Your brain thinks public rejection is dangerous. The trick is not to suppress fear, but to channel it. Here's how. 1. Reframe nerves as excitement. Instead of thinking, I'm so nervous, say to yourself, I'm excited to share this. Your body's physical response to excitement and fear is almost identical. Heart racing, adrenaline pumping. You just need to relabel it. 2. The 4-second breath. Use this breathing pattern when anxiety spikes. Inhale for 4 seconds. Hold for 4 seconds. Exhale for 4 seconds. Hold empty for 4 seconds. Do this 4 times. It signals to your brain that you're safe and lowers your heart rate. 3. Anchor yourself with a gesture. Pick a small, subtle gesture, like pressing your thumb and finger together, and do it every time you feel calm and confident. Over time, your brain will associate the gesture with confidence, and you can use it as an instant switch before speaking. Step 5. Project leadership through body language. Words are only about 7% of communication. The rest is tone and body language. If your body says, I'm nervous, people pick up on it, even if your words are perfect. Here are body language habits that signal quiet authority. Posture, stand or sit tall, with your head level. Avoid shrinking or fidgeting. Eye contact. Hold steady eye contact for 3 to 5 seconds at a time. Too little looks evasive, too much feels aggressive. Gestures. Use slow, intentional hand movements that match your words. Don't flail or point too sharply. Facial expression. Keep a slight, relaxed smile. It softens your presence without making you look passive. Step 6. Speak with measured certainty. Confidence in speech isn't just about volume, it's about cadence. Leaders don't rush to fill silence. Practice the leader's pace. 1. Slow your speech by 10 to 15%. 2. Pause intentionally after key points. 3. Lower your tone slightly at the end of sentences. It signals finality. Example, instead of rushing through. We need to hit these targets or we're in trouble. Okay, let's move on. Say, we need to hit these targets. Pause, or we risk falling behind. Pause. Here's how we get there. Your words land heavier when they have room to breathe. Step 7. Build long-term confidence reserves. Quick rituals are great, but lasting confidence comes from stacking small wins over time. Do one small, courageous thing daily. Speak up in a meeting. Ask a question you normally wouldn't. Your brain learns that taking space is safe. Celebrate micro successes. Notice when you spoke clearly or held eye contact well. Reinforce it mentally. Build competence. The more skilled you become at your work, the more naturally confident you'll feel when talking about it. Imagine you're about to pitch your idea to investors. Your hands are sweating, your thoughts are racing. Instead of panicking, you step aside for 90 seconds. You stand tall in your power posture, breathe deeply, and visualize the investors nodding as you speak. You walk into the room calm, grounded, and deliberate. Your voice is slower, deeper, and more intentional. You gesture smoothly, you pause after key points, and you leave space for questions. Even if they don't fund you that day, they'll remember you as someone who carries leadership energy, and that's priceless. Here's your confidence ritual to do before any important conversation. 1 2 minutes of power posture. 2 pour 3 deep diaphragmatic breaths. 3 1 minute of success visualization. 4 say 3 confidence, affirming phrases out loud. 5 walk into the room slower than usual and own your space. Do this daily, even for small interactions, and your brain will start treating confidence like a habit, not a lucky accident. Great communicators don't just talk. They guide the entire room. Have you ever been in a conversation where someone kept talking over you and you didn't know how to jump back in? Or maybe you left a meeting wishing you had said something sharper, faster, more impactful. Conversational control isn't about dominating others or being the loudest voice in the room. It's about creating clarity, steering the flow toward meaningful outcomes, and making sure your voice is heard without aggression. In this chapter, you'll learn how to think and respond quickly under pressure. Steer conversations without sounding controlling. Handle interruptions with poise. Lead discussions so people leave respecting you. Step 1, listen first, lead second. The biggest mistake people make in conversations is thinking control means talking the most. In reality, the most respected communicators are the best listeners. Listening gives you leverage. It lets you gather information, read the room, and respond with precision instead of noise. Here's how to train this skill. 1. Active listening drill. Next time you're talking to someone, force yourself to listen to their full sentence before you start forming your reply. Then, repeat back a short summary of what they said. Example. They say, I just feel like nobody is taking this project seriously. You respond, so what I'm hearing is that you feel unsupported on this project. Is that right? This does 2 things. It makes them feel heard and buys you time to think of a thoughtful reply. Step 2. Use the stack method. When you need to answer a question or make a point under pressure, follow this simple 4-step mental framework. 1. Stop, don't rush to answer. Take 1 breath. 2. Think, identify the essence of what's being asked. 3. Answer, deliver your point clearly and briefly. 4. Confirm, ask a follow-up, or check understanding. Example, someone asks you a complex question in a meeting. How do you think we should handle the drop in engagement this quarter? Instead of panicking and rambling, you pause, gather your thoughts, and say, good question. The way I see it, we have two options. We either invest in retargeting campaigns to bring users back, or we improve onboarding so new users stick longer. Which of those do you think aligns with our current budget? Notice how you didn't just answer, you moved the conversation forward and involved them. That's conversational control. Step 3. Steering the topic without being abrupt. Sometimes conversations go off track and you need to bring them back without sounding rude. Use gentle steering phrases like, that's a good point, let's connect it back to what we were discussing. Interesting perspective. Here's how it ties into the main issue. I'd like to add to that and bring us back to. These transitions keep you in control without shutting anyone down. Step 4. Handling interruptions gracefully. In a group setting, interruptions are inevitable. The goal is not to fight, but to reclaim your space. Here are 3 tactics. 1. The calm hold. If someone interrupts, stop speaking, look at them, and wait. When they finish, smile slightly and say, thanks, as I was saying. Then pick up right where you left off. 2. The hand anchor. Raise your hand slightly, palm down, while saying, let me finish this thought quickly, then I'd love to hear yours. This signals that you respect them, but you're holding the floor. 3. The repeat and reclaim. If someone tries to derail the topic completely, acknowledge them and redirect. That's important and we should discuss it, but let's wrap up this point first. This keeps the discussion organized and shows you're protecting the group's focus. Step 5. Leading with questions. One of the most powerful ways to control a conversation is to ask the right questions. This shifts the spotlight and keeps you steering the direction. Examples of leadership questions. What would success look like for you in this scenario? What's the biggest risk if we do nothing? How can we simplify this so everyone's clear? Questions make you sound thoughtful and invite collaboration, which builds influence. Step 6. Using silence as a tool. Most people are uncomfortable with silence. They rush to fill it, often saying more than they should. Use this to your advantage. After asking a question, stay quiet. Let others think and answer. When making a key point, pause for 2 beats before continuing. It makes your words feel heavier and more important. Great negotiators and CEOs are masters at this. They know silence makes people lean in. Step 7. Conversational storytelling. One of the best ways to lead a discussion is by telling short, relevant stories that illustrate your point. Here's a framework for a quick, effective story. 1. Context. Last quarter we faced a similar situation. 2. Challenge. Sales were down and morale was low. 3. Action. So we tested 3 new campaigns. 4. Result. And we saw a 20% increase. Stories stick in people's minds far better than raw data. They also make you sound like someone who has experience and perspective. Step 8. Dealing with difficult people. Sometimes conversational control means handling confrontation calmly. Here are tactics for common scenarios. The dominator, someone who won't stop talking. You've made some great points. Let's hear from others before we circle back. The challenger, someone who keeps disagreeing. I see where you're coming from. Here's why I think this direction still makes sense. The distractor, someone taking the conversation off topic. That's a separate discussion. Let's park it for later. Staying calm is key. Emotional escalation equals lost control. Imagine a meeting where people are talking over each other, emotions are high, and nothing is getting done. You take a deep breath, wait for a natural pause, and say clearly, let's pause for a moment. Here's what I'm hearing. We all care about solving this problem, but we're spinning in circles. Let's take 5 minutes to list the main issues, prioritize them, and tackle them one by one. Suddenly, the room quiets. People look at you. You've just taken control, not by being loud, but by restoring order. Here's how to practice conversational control daily. 1. Do one active listening drill per day. Summarize what someone said before replying. 2. Practice stack once a day. Use it in real conversations, not just in your head. 3. Catch yourself talking too fast. Slow down and use a pause. 4. Ask at least one powerful question in every group discussion you join. 5. Stay calm during interruptions. Use a reclaim phrase at least once this week. Do this for a month and you'll notice something fascinating. People start looking at you more during conversations. They wait for your input. They defer to you when things get chaotic. This is how conversational control turns into conversational leadership. People may forget what you said, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. You've built the tools. You can now think faster, speak clearly, stay calm under pressure, and steer conversations toward meaningful outcomes. But there's one final layer that separates good communicators from unforgettable ones: charisma. Charisma isn't about being loud or overly charming. It's about creating a feeling in others. The most charismatic leaders leave people thinking, I felt heard. I felt smarter after talking to them. I felt inspired to take action. This chapter is about fusing clarity, confidence, and empathy into a communication style that draws people in and makes you memorable. Step 1. The 3 pillars of charisma. True charisma is a mix of 3 things. 1. Presence, making the other person feel like they're the most important person in the room. 2. Warmth, showing genuine interest, kindness, and respect. 3. Power, demonstrating quiet authority, competence, and direction. You need all 3. Too much power without warmth feels intimidating. Too much warmth without power feels soft. Too much presence without either feels passive. Your goal is to balance them so people trust you, like you, and follow your lead. Step 2. Creating magnetic presence. Presence starts with attention. Most people half listen, they're already thinking about their reply, or worse, glancing at their phone. When you're fully present, you create a rare experience. Someone actually feels seen. The laser focus exercise. 1. When someone speaks, look at them and notice 3 details about their face or expression. 2. Silently name those details in your head. They have kind eyes. They're leaning forward. They're smiling nervously. 3. This forces your brain to stay present and tuned in. The micro-pause rule. After someone finishes speaking, pause for half a second before replying. This tiny delay shows you actually processed what they said instead of jumping in with a preloaded response. Step 3. Projecting warmth without losing authority. Warmth isn't about being overly nice or people-pleasing. It's about human connection. Ways to project warmth naturally. Smile lightly when greeting or listening. Use names. That's a great point, Sarah. Mirror emotions subtly. If they're excited, match their tone slightly. The key is authenticity. People can feel fake warmth. Your warmth should come from curiosity and respect, not manipulation. Step 4. Owning quiet power. Power doesn't mean speaking the most or being aggressive. It's about the weight your words carry. Here's how to cultivate it. 1. Speak with finality. End key sentences on a downward tone. This subconsciously signals that you are certain. Example. Instead of, I think we should move forward, say, we should move forward. 2. Use strategic scarcity. Don't feel the need to comment on every topic. When you speak less often, but with impact, people lean in when you do speak. 3. Show calm when others panic. Nothing signals leadership more than being the calmest person in the room during chaos. Breathe slower, speak slower, and people will match your state. Step 5. The art of storytelling. Charisma often lives in the stories you tell. Stories humanize you, make you relatable, and inspire action. The CEO storytelling framework. 1. Hook. Start with something relatable. Last year, I made a huge mistake. 2. Struggle. Share the challenge or tension. We were weeks away from missing the deadline. 3. Breakthrough. Explain the decision or insight. Then we tried something bold. 4. Lesson, end with a takeaway. Here's what it taught me about risk-taking. Keep stories short, emotionally engaging, and tied to a point that matters to the listener. Step 6. Emotional calibration. Charismatic communicators adjust their emotional tone to match the moment. If the room is tense, slow down, soften your tone, bring reassurance. If the room is low energy, speak slightly faster, add enthusiasm, and lift the energy. If the room is skeptical, be factual, calm, and confident. Don't oversell. This ability to read the room and adjust makes you magnetic. People feel like you're speaking with them, not at them. Step 7. Building a signature style. Your goal is not to sound like anyone else, it's to sound like the most compelling version of you. Ask yourself, what do I want people to feel after talking to me? What 3 words describe my ideal communication style? E.g., calm, inspiring, clear. How can I make my natural quirks part of my charm instead of hiding them? The best communicators are consistent. You always know what energy you'll get from them, and it's always uplifting, organized, and purposeful. Step 8. Persuasion through alignment. Charisma also comes from making people feel like you're on the same team. The yes and technique. When someone disagrees, don't shut them down. Instead, yes, I see why you'd think that, and here's why we might also consider. This keeps dialogue collaborative instead of combative. The emotional hook. Tie your message to something they care about. This decision isn't just about revenue, it's about keeping our team employed through the next quarter. When people feel you care about what they care about, they follow you. Step 9. Long-term charisma habits. Charisma isn't built overnight. Here's how to make it part of who you are. Practice micropresence daily. Put your phone away and give full attention to small interactions. Refine 1 story per week. Keep a story bank of experiences you can share naturally. Record yourself. Watch your body language and vocal tone. Refine until it feels natural. Collect feedback. Ask trusted peers, how do I come across when I speak? Adjust based on what they say. Picture this: a CEO steps on stage to deliver a difficult message about budget cuts. Instead of rushing through a dry speech, they pause, look at the audience, and begin with a story. When I started this company 10 years ago, we were 3 people in a garage eating instant noodles. The audience smiles. They're hooked. Then the CEO acknowledges the pain. This is a hard message to share, but I want to be honest with you. Their tone is calm, measured, and warm. They explain the decision clearly, offer hope for the future, and leave people feeling respected, not crushed. That's charisma in action. To master this final layer of CEO-like communication. 1. Practice laser-focused listening daily. 2. Use the micropause rule before replying in conversations. 3. Balance warmth and power. Greet with a smile. Speak with calm certainty. 4. Tell 1 short story per week that illustrates a lesson or insight. 5. Adjust your emotional tone to the energy of the room. Do this consistently, and soon people will describe you as someone who lights up the room, not because you're flashy, but because you bring clarity, confidence, and inspiration wherever you go. And with that, you now have the full transformation, from thinking faster and speaking clearly to commanding a room with quiet charisma and CEO-level authority. This isn't just about sounding good, it's about becoming